So this week has been a wild week for many. With the immense volatility, it was very difficult to determine which direction to play, and we've noticed in the Finway community that many accounts got destroyed, especially what happened yesterday when we've noticed that a lot of Tesla bulls were imagining that the stock was going to 440, 450 into the Trump inauguration. The whole model has switched where people were initially bearish and they got bullish here. Now, this is going to be a very lengthy video, but I really want you guys to take the time and watch this entire video here because I'm going to be sharing with you the beginning of what happened this week, the start of the week, what we planned, what our prediction was till near the end, and where we see ourselves going. This week, as many of you guys know, the StockX mentorship program members have made thousands and thousands of dollars in profits. That's why our mentorship has recently exploded for the last 2-3 weeks. And it's very interesting to see that a lot of people are noticing the advantage of learning how to read option premiums. So I'm going to be dedicating this video to talk specifically about that topic. But in order for you to really understand how to understand premiums, you must understand what has happened in the past to understand how the whole process and details behind the STX model works. So let's get over it and let's discuss it in great detail. So this week we started off by giving a analysis on Twitter. So I first want to talk about what we shared online, because what we share in the room is going to be more in depth. I will talk specifically about what we shared in Tesla details because it's important. So as always, we start off our analysis. We got a lot of great testimonials. A lot of people are noticing our success. That QQQ weekly analysis was that they estimated weekly high was 519, and you can see right over here this was given to our members or the Finway community on January 12th. And you can see that on Thursday, that we pretty much hit that top and then dropped. Okay, so very interesting to share that. I just wanted to highlight that as well. I'll go over the other details on many other levels, but this level is not by analyzing any chart or anything like that. It's by analyzing the gamma levels. Okay, and you can pretty much see where they market bottoms up on our resistance points, where the supports and so forth is. There's not a lot of people in the community that can give you that interpretation. Now, I share a lot about my predictions as well. So this week, I pretty much mentioned that the market would have a bullish edge. So if we look here, prior to this and this information, I've been nailing my predictions very spot on. Where pretty much I mentioned that this week we would see a bullish week. Last week we said it was going to be a bearish week, but I said with bank CPI report, I'm getting bullish vibes now. Okay, so they Discord got the full information behind that, and we know exactly what happened with that. So as we go along through this details here, I discuss all that information as well. I give some information on insight about MSTR, that they have a major expiration on their option premiums coming up as well. And we talk a lot about that stuff, okay? So we started off the week with a strong start on getting Broadcom. So the Broadcom calls, these did very well. And we basically sold those, rolled into the 235s, okay? And those ended up paying very well. We just sold them today. So we got SPX, bunch of SPX plays, and we pretty much called the bottom here on the S&P 500, okay? So we pretty much knew that at the beginning of the week here, that this would be the support we want to consider getting calls. We played all the way up, okay? So the problem with the Finway community is that a lot of people, when they saw the market selling off, they got completely bearish at the wrong points, okay? Now, in terms of the premiums perspectives here, the reason why the market bounced off that number has to do with the fact that option premium writers they tend to make sure that, like at this point over here, for example, this is an inflection point when the put premiums are very expensive. So when we are analyzing premiums, we look at both sides of the market, both sides of the table. We look at from the option premium writers and we look at the option premium sellers. So by the market makers pretty much seeing that the put premiums are very expensive at this particular moment, we knew that the market, in order for the premium sellers to make money, they're going to have to buy equities to see the sharp rise up, and they would bank on the premiums and also bank on the calls because they were very cheap at that particular moment. Okay, so as we go along here, we analyze all the deltas. We pretty much gave a free play on Tesla here at 3.1. Okay, so not only that, we've called the bottom on Tesla right over here, and if you guys look at the timestamp on this was 9:33 on January the 13th. Okay, so if you look over here, 9:33 a.m. Okay, so literally right at open on January the 13th. So I said I gave that free play on the bottom, and it literally exploded close to my slightly above my estimated weekly high, and you can see that for yourself. Okay, so we called that Tesla play, and we definitely banked on that as well. And you can see right here, this is a QQQ. So going back to this, we didn't see this before, right? We seen that QQQ pretty much was right over here at this particular point. It didn't hit our level 2 bearish just yet, but pretty much it was close to that particular point. And we gave more information. Our Tesla calls continue to run, and they were definitely moving here. We actually didn't swing them that particular day, even though I was very confident would rip. But our account management process comes first, guys, and we had to take profits on that first and foremost. Okay, that's going to be key thing here as well. We mentioned that they were jacking the Tesla premiums early on, and we eventually had to take that 116%. This trade, sorry, 135% we took. This trade actually went to 200 to 300% down the line here. Okay, so a lot of people are learning from my analysis. I explained that Tesla, the whole details behind it, and we gave a lot of information on that. Okay, so and another thing as well, eventually I start giving more predictions, getting vibes. We may open at 58.20, possibly over lower on PPI. So we start to see that we gave an overall vibe that the entire week would be bullish, but we also called out the days when we would recognize weakness in the market, right? And based off that here, we pretty much knew that NVDA was weak, all that stuff, and SPX opened near our results here. Okay, so prediction was almost secured. We were calling out all of this information here. That's all timestamped. You guys can check it yourselves. So that was a nice detail that we see over here. Okay, because by Tuesday, that's when we start to see resistance in our chop range. So the market went into our chop neutral range. This is when the put premiums were, of course, cheaper. The market wanted to go lower, so they started to sell it off within this range as well. We gave a lot of great SPX plays where we were calling the pre-announced plays and stuff. We pretty much perfected a lot of the trades here. But besides all that, let's see this over here, right? So I said that Tesla upside trend has been confirmed. So when you hit a level 2 bullish, for example, the trend is confirmed until it hits the estimated weekly high or the final level 3 zone that you guys see over here. Okay, now this is the part that gets very interesting as well. Okay, so I pretty much, we played Tesla calls at this bottom here, played it to 412. We played like Tesla non-stop this week because it was very volatile. We actually traded both sides perfectly. Okay, so now as we get closer here, a lot of testimonials, a lot of great plays that we've been calling out. And the best part is we actually been telling our members as well the limit order entry details. Okay, so a lot of profits, as you guys can see. So as we go over here, I said, you know, the S&P 500 is near estimated weekly high. I didn't short it just that point, but this was the very interesting play I gave here, and now this is where you really want to pay attention. Okay, so I said bought Tesla for 10-point estimated weekly high at 3.01. Okay, so Tesla did go a little bit above my estimated weekly high, and the thing is that we ended up losing $1 from the bottom. I wanted to chase this actually. Normally I place a limit order and I can calculate the bottom, but I really wanted to get in, and I was getting a lot of hate on this particular play. But the reason for the Tesla put is because when we go back to our Discord analysis, I really want to talk about this. Okay, so I mentioned this yesterday at 8 o'clock that there's a huge disparity in the premiums I wanted to. So I took this bull trade to short. I posted it online for, and a lot of people were hating on it, but one thing I want to share with you guys is very interesting. So look at the 450 calls. Okay, we were looking at the 450 calls to give us an idea about what was happening, and the 450 calls, you can see, had a lot of volume at this particular point here. Okay, so with that being said, that was telling us that a lot of option premium sellers were taking advantage of writing Tesla calls at 2.05, and that also told me that basically there was no deltas on those particular plays as well. As too far, so that's way too expensive on that particular trade, and they put premiums had better deltas, so as a result that was a better trade, and there's a chance Tesla puts can go in the money. As a matter of fact, it has gone in the money. Okay, and if you guys can see that right over here in the morning, I even mentioned that, you know, we believe that the Tesla, our bearish thesis we gave on it, that Tesla is all about Taiwan Semiconductor earnings, because even if Taiwan Semiconductor's earnings was good, which actually was, you saw ASML rip, because, you know, pretty much Taiwan Semiconductor guided up on their capital expenditure, which caused ASML to really rip, right? So that was an interesting play. We also mentioned that in our morning call as well, where if we go to our morning call, I gave a trade idea that ASML calls aiming for the 780 calls around 2. I didn't end up taking that trade, but a member did, right? So it was very interesting today. Played your 780 ASML, great call on the morning meeting. Okay, so that was on a member's note. I didn't take it because I had other positions, right? But very nice play that we called out right there and then. Okay, so that's all confirmed right there and there. So we knew that chips would be leading, and there's an inverse relationship between chips. When chips are successful, you kind of see Tesla move lower. That's what I've recognized. And because Tesla was at a near our peak, there was a lot of option premium sellers. We knew exactly that would be a opportunity to do so. Okay, if you look more detail into the premiums, I have this whole analytics that helps me identify the ranges on the premium, find the hard points, and all of that. Okay, so when we were looking at Tesla premiums, for example, here, we were seeing that the far out of the money premiums were losing momentum. The puts that was closer to the money was actually gaining momentum, and that was the reason why we believe that Tesla would see some bearish movement here. Okay, so that's one thing that we wanted to really share with you guys, and I hope you guys kind of understand that. I know it can be a little bit confusing here, but you know, we pretty much gave the call out here, and our prediction was spot on. We had a lot of other predictions, right? So I even said over here my target on Tesla is 413, and this is when Tesla was at 424, right? So it dropped all the way from here, 423, 424, and all the way there And the crazy thing here is that I actually had a member that signed up to my $1,000 monthly subscription plan because I helped them save $40,000 that they had on the Tesla upside position here, right? So that person had booked their profits because they really liked what I said, and that's great for me to hear that I helped someone save, because one thing is the whole Finwick community was actually bullish. I got a lot of DMs about that play, and it was kind of crazy that people hated on me for that, right? But that's all right, that's okay. You know, we're here to win, and that's all right. So a lot of profits in the room as well consistently. You can see it over here for yourself. A lot of members are posting it daily, so we're seeing a lot of success in that way, shape, or form. Just like how we give the information beyond what you see in the Finwick community, we also share our thesis, what's going to happen in the morning. So let's talk about SPX here. So we didn't do a lot of SPX plays. I only gave one SPX play, and that SPX play was pretty much a lotto. It did go up actually 100%, which was fun to see. But so far, this week here, what I pretty much what I predicted this day, I said call gamma showing normal distribution. That probably suggests that we're going to be trading in the 59.30, 59.70 range. If you guys see over here, that was exactly it. 59.30 was there. 59.64 range was pretty much there, and that was confirmed. And I confirmed that with the call gamma as well. 59.40, 59.50 is our neutral range. That's actually when the market is in no man's land, sideways. So it's very choppy this day. And in my morning notes, you know, SPX is playable to the upside with confirmation when you see it above 59.70, and with bearish confirmation downside is under 59.30. The problem with playing SPX, guys, some days there's going to be situations where SPX is definitely unplayable, and you want to be aware of those days, right? Because in today's trading session, right, we called out many suitable trades, okay? So we actually called out the NVDA puts, okay? We already had Tesla puts, which went up 100%. Those NVIDIA puts, you know, did very well, 80% return, just right off the bat here. We those literally flew so fast, and I'm actually still swinging them. I have a lot of profits where I can swing that here because my NVIDIA has a estimated weekly low that is very far out, and if the market does get bearish, it can happen here. Okay, so we also gave the SPX 5900 put at 50 cents. We gave the pre-announced play. Some people took them. We got them motherfucker don't miss. We haven't been missing, and we always provide a trade log to explain to our members what positions that we have. That's for account management purposes. There's some times where I keep the position very light and I don't really sell them, but the standard that we have in our room here is that as long as the trade hits minimum 50% and you have an opportunity to get in, we consider that a good trade. And that's how so many of our members had green days, and I'm looking forward to helping you have a green day as well. Okay, so details to know going forward. You want to be aware of NVIDIA here. If it gets below this level 1 bearish and it retests this 129, it's very possible it could get to 126. This 129 is going to be a very strong support, so you want to kind of consider at what point in time this happens here today. ARM pretty much hit a level 2 bullish here, so it stopped exactly at our number. We want to see if it bounces right over there. Broadcom, it pretty much stopped around this bullish breakout zone. We already banked on that, but want to see if it can potentially recover. Meta, so this play here, pretty much we called the bottom on this. It hit our estimated weekly low, and then it really started to bounce now back in the chop range. So we'll see how that happens. And MSTR also hit our estimated weekly high, and now moving back forward. Okay, so all these levels I provide are beginning of the week. They're based off option premiums. There's no cap with this. Okay, so it's pretty funny that you can't lie about something that's timestamped, guys. If you see my channel, I'll definitely confirm that as well. but you know, sometimes these levels could be off, give or take, but they're very consistently accurate. And if you guys have been seeing my predictions, seeing my levels and all of that, it has been helping me, my traders and all of that stuff, because these are based off option premiums, they're not based off anything else. Okay, so that's what we're looking at here as well. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this market update. So we'll see what happens in the next one. Like always, let's get the money.